Hey, what's up, guys? So, Moon Knight Episode 5 Asylum wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. From the end of Episode 4, it was looking like it was going to be a real shitter, but I was surprised that it wasn't as bad as I thought. But before I get into it, if you can all do all the things down below, that would be great. Would love to hear what you thought of the episode, and there will be spoilers. Alright, so it continues off the last episode, and they're dead now. And they're in some sort of purgatory, and Lizzo has to usher them in from the afterlife. But during this journey, they have to balance the scales of good and bad, I guess, in them, to see if they can pass through whatever gate they need to pass through, or be dragged off the boat by sand people. Now, like I was saying earlier, this episode wasn't all too bad. I really thought going into it, it was going to be terrible, like the past 4 episodes, really. But it really surprised me. Got a lot of great character development from Mark and Steven, and the twist that Steven is made up from Mark's trauma as a child, well, it wasn't that surprising. Was done in a way that made you feel for Mark in a way the series hasn't really done for really any of the characters at all yet. Actually giving some sort of human trait or humanity about them, not just making jokes because we need Isaac to say something funny or make a clown out of himself to prop up Layla. It was really nice to see them make Mark a character for once. I'm pretty sure they'll undo it all the next episode, but right now is something done right, and I just want to point that out. The asylum idea was a bit overused, but it was a nice welcome here because the show really needs something to bring life into it. Not knowing whether this is all in his head or actual real events kept me engaged more than basically any other episode has so far. And I know this won't last very long, but at least there was one episode in here that was decent. Seeing all the memories from Mark in his early childhood that led up to his mother blaming him for his brother's death, and the abuse he was taking for what it looked like at least a decade before he decided to leave, and him creating the Stephen Grant persona from a movie poster in his room to escape the real life was a nice twist for the character. And it was nice to see a Moon Knight actually have a meaningful character development in it, not just being paraded around like a clown by Layla. This episode wasn't all good though. This Lizzo hippopotamus creature they have is the worst thing about this episode, and kind of ruined it a bit because we can't do anything without having someone interject humor or anything, and she's the one delivering the jokes as well as Amy Schumer's stand-up. Thankfully she's not in it a whole lot, but enough to break up the pacing of the episode, and that was kind of annoying. Would have been nice just have her at the beginning explain what was going on, and spending the rest of the episode letting Mark and Steven figure a way out to balance the scales for most of the episode, and that would have been a much better episode. And having periods of them going back into the real asylum to keep us guessing if it's real or not, it would have just made a much better episode. This wasn't too bad of an ending. Steven realizing he was just Mark and he can actually do all the things, and saving Mark from the sand people and sacrificing himself for him, and it was something heroic for a character that's mostly been kind of unbearably cowardly, which looks like the way that most of the male characters that Marvel wants from us now. So yeah, that's about all I gotta say on this episode. Overall, it wasn't a bad episode, and at least we got one decent one out of the bunch. Not holding much hope out for, well, any of the other ones, because as we've seen from all the other Marvel shows, they all kind of suck, and I get the feeling that this is just a show they just want to throw on Disney Plus to like fluff it out more, and it's just produced for content's sake, because for some of the stuff to happen in here and for no one else to notice has me thinking this will be one of those things that maybe get one more season to wrap it up, or maybe they'll finish in this season, who knows. They're going to try to wrap up this story, whatever the hell this story is supposed to be, and to pass it down to maybe Layla, and then we'll really get the Moon Knight we all wanted. But yeah, that's what I get the feeling, that this is just produced just to fluff up Disney Plus, to really have not to like add anything to the Marvel universe. It's just content for content's sake. They scraped the bottom of the barrel of this Moon Knight, like no one knows who he is. So they're going to add it on here just to throw it on to, it's just filler content for Disney Plus, and I really don't think they care about Moon Knight at all. They just want something to trash on the male character, and they'll throw on Layla so she can take up the mantle, as we can see in Marvel Phase 4, all these male characters getting replaced with either diverse males or females. So I don't know, that's what I kind of get the feeling that they're trying to do here, and I don't know, just some of the things that just don't make sense. Yeah, so it's like none of the writers are talking to anyone else, so there's no like continuity anymore. So I'm not sure if these shows are just their own thing or I don't know. They're kind of going to the DC route now. So, I don't know. Anyways, thanks for listening.